Hello class, and welcome to How to Work with Raw Data in an Excel Worksheet. My name is Bill Berquist and I'll be your instructor for this lesson. This lesson will show you how to convert imported raw data in an Excel worksheet into a workable data list. Excel features include text to columns and concatenating formulas. Let's go ahead and go to Excel and get started. Okay everyone, here we are at the raw data worksheet. Basically what I want to do is take this raw data and break it up across the columns A, B, C, and D. As you can see right now, all the data is in column A. It looks like it's going into B, C, D, and E, a little bit of F, but it's not. Okay, if I look up here in the input line, all the data is in column A. And I want to turn this into a workable list where I can sort the data, maybe add an email address column. All right, so let's go ahead and break up this data and make it a more workable worksheet. In the real world, most people would probably print this out and then just create a new worksheet and just type it in. Okay, type it in columns A, B, C, D, last name, first name, address, city, state, zip. But there are a lot cooler ways that we can do this by using the text to columns feature. So the first thing I'm going to do is I'm going to highlight my data. I don't have to go all the way over here because there's nothing over there. Everything's in column A. And I'm going to pull it down a little bit, click and drag the bottom edge of the cursor. There we go. That way I'll have a spot up here to put a nice worksheet title. All right, now let's go ahead and break up the data across the columns. Take a look at the data first. If you look, there's, let's see, the last name, first name, they're all lowercase. I don't like that. There's commas separating the data. Okay. Whatever character you have that separates your data, we call those delimiting characters. They're usually like commas and semicolons and colons and spaces and tab stops. So we have commas that's pretty much separating our data here. So I'm going to highlight all of my data, and I'm going to go up here to the ribbon and go to data, and then just past the halfway mark is my text to column. It's in the data tools group. Remember, if you can break up your ribbon into groups, you can find your buttons a lot easier. Let me go to text to columns here, and the data is delimited. In other words, I have commas separating it. The coolest thing I like about this is it shows me a little preview down here of what it's going to look like. So you can pick whatever delimiting character you want, and we have commas. So I'll pick commas. If you don't see it listed, you can just manually type it in right here, maybe an @ symbol or something, or a regular colon, and I'll hit next, and then finish. And now my data is broken up into multiple columns. All right. Let me widen the columns a little bit. Okay, that looks good. Widen these a little bit. Widen columns A and B. Okay, it looks good. Then I'll go up here, maybe push it down one more row. Home, insert, sheet rows. There we go. And I'll type in last name. Let's highlight that. First name, address, city, state, zip, and I'll put email over here. There we go. Some useless trivia. ZIP stands for Zone Improvement Plan. Zone Improvement Plan is what ZIP stands for. Okay, so I'm looking good here. One thing I don't like is that my first name and last name are lowercase letters. Okay, they need to be proper case. Let me shrink this column down a little bit. And I'm going to insert two columns right here. Just highlight any two cells. Insert sheet columns. There we go. And I'm going to move this over here. Okay. And in this cell, I'm going to type in equals proper. That's a text-based function, and it'll convert my last name to proper case. And then equals proper. Actually, I think I could just copy this over here. There we go. Okay, cool. And then double click my fill handle. And there we go. All right. Now I have a problem. Okay. I don't need my columns A and B anymore because now they're over here, right? Unfortunately, if I just delete the columns like this, all right, those are all formulas that refer to those two columns that I just deleted. Let me hit undo here. So we're going to have to convert this data rather than a function. I want it to be just the data that's in there, so just submit. So I can highlight it and I can copy it, the bottom half of my paste button, and paste the values. And hit escape to get rid of the scrolling marquee. And now no more formulas, it's just the names. Now I can delete columns A and B. There we go. Now I have a workable list. Let me wind my columns a little bit again. Okay, looks good. Maybe center my zips. Okay, center my states. Okay. Pacific, or say Atlantic, computer warehouse, employee list. There we go. Okay, looks good. Now the next thing I want to do is add an email address. Okay, add an email address. Most email addresses in a company have the same pattern. All right, the same pattern, and it's basically the first letter of the first name and the whole last name. At acw.com. Okay, we'll just call it Atlantic Computer Warehouse acw.com. So what I want to do is go over here to my email, and we're going to do some concatenating here, which means I take the data from two cells, join it together, and the domain of the email, which is at acw.com. So let's do it slowly here. I'll do equals left B5, comma 1, the first character. So I want to see the left, starting with the left over in this cell, I want to see the first character. And I get a J in there. Okay? You can copy it down, and there they all are. Alright, now let's keep building on this. Double click it there. I'll do the ampersand and the entire last name. So I'll just put A5. There we go. And you can copy it down. Now I'm doing you would do the whole formula at once, but I'm just doing a little piece at a time here. And then over here I'll do ampersand again, quotation marks, at acw.com. Or you can do all lowercase if you want. There we go. And there is their email address. Copy it down. Widen it. Now I got that problem again. I want to change it all to the data, not just the formulas. Okay? Formulas. So I'll go to copy, paste values, and there we go. Okay? Now I have a nice workable worksheet. I can sort it by last name. Okay, looks good. I can sort it by first name if I want in descending order. Okay, looks good. Maybe format this a little bit. Let's see. Make it 18 point. Whoops. Do merge center. There we go. Highlight this, merge and center. Bold it. And highlight this. And bold it, maybe center align it. And there we go. So now I have a nice workable list off of that raw data. Okay, so to kind of review what we did, The first thing we did was we moved all the data down to give myself room for a nice worksheet title. We broke up the data using my text to columns feature right over here. We used the commas for the delimiting character, which is what separated the data. We converted my last names and first names to proper case by using the proper function. Three really cool functions. You have proper, upper, and lower. Okay, they convert your text to either proper case, lowercase, or uppercase, whatever it is you want. All right. After that, we used the paste special and converted those formulas just to the values in the cells. Okay, paste values. All right. After that, we did some concatenation with our email address. Okay, with our email address using the left function. All right. So now we have a nice worksheet. I can save it. I can sort it. I can add to it and do whatever I want. Okay, so we'll go ahead and stop here, and I will see you for the next video.